This is Vaughn Watson. Welcome to the Process Systems Podcast. Today we've got Dustin Divinia, President of Vector Systems. Welcome, Dustin.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
You've been here a long time, I believe 23 years?
Well, don't make me seem too old. Yes, it's been 23 years. Be 24 in November.
What made you choose Vector way back when?
Oh, I really liked the quality of the work that they were turning out the door. I was doing similar work for another company, and it got to the point where I just was tired of putting my name on something I wasn't proud of. And the former owner of the company introduced me to what he was doing, and I said, "This is what I want to get involved in. This is something I'm comfortable with." And I found a home here at Vector Systems.
So what would you say Vector Systems, why? What is the vision, or why is it that Vector Systems has been so successful?
I look at this industry as several tiers. We never work for the people who have the equipment, and it seems that there has always been a gap in what our customer wants in this industry and what the end users desire in the field. I want to serve the person that has to live with this piece of equipment for the next 25 years. I want to make it easy for them to maintain. I want them to have a quality product that is not going to give them problems, but over the years, for the most part, I want them to be happy with it so they can recommend Vector Systems to supply other plants that they have, other customers, peers that they have in the industry. It's about making somebody happy at the back end. How do we get that to them?
Well, I know the slogan had been historically, equipment so well built you'll forget it's there. Yeah. How does that portray into that vision?
Oh, it's absolutely paramount for it. It kind of kills the aftermarket services if you're not selling them a piece of junk and then servicing it for the next 25 years. But, it takes 10 years to build a reputation, and what we have managed to accomplish is the end users, the big companies that are making power, making oil, making chemicals, they're now asking for us from their vendors who are our customers. And it really raises the quality across the board for this type of equipment, not just from us, but from our competitors as well. And it makes the industry stronger and better, in my opinion.
So what does the next 6 to 12 months look like for Vector with that in mind?
Oh, something like chaos.
Yeah, well, of course.
No, we are pushing really hard to expand and grow. We made some major changes in the way we operate about 4 years ago, and it's driving huge growth in the company. We're looking to move out of McKinney. We're landlocked here. We've kind of outgrown our home we built for ourselves back in 2007. We've been operating in Bonham, Texas for about 5 years. Actually, it's closer to 7 years now. And we are in plans at this point over the next 18 to 24 months to move there. We've got expansion going on the existing building that we have. We're looking at adding another manufacturing building over on the opposite side of the airport from where we are now, where the airport's going to kind of be the dividing line between the two. And then ultimately, we're going to build a new headquarters and new manufacturing facilities on some property we bought up there. So we've got big expansion plans.
So what made us choose Bonham for that location? Why move the headquarters to Bonham, Texas?
Well, several factors. Number one, rural area is going to be less expensive. It's got fantastic access to highways. It's at the intersection of 78 and 82. Mm-hmm. You've got 121 coming up from the Metroplex, so it's very easy for trucking to get in and out and get anywhere in the United States from, both bringing raw materials in and delivering product. It's less expensive, obviously. It hasn't experienced the growth that Collin County has.
Sure.
So that's attractive. The population is better suited for the type of people we hire for the trades.
Very hands-on,
Very hands-on.
trade-oriented.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. And it's small enough that you can navigate the politics and the community and get to know the people you need to know. We've been very proactive up there for about 2 years now, promoting, hey, we're coming, how can we help? We've been very active in the Chamber of Commerce up there, supporting their events, getting to meet and know some really great people up there. Sam with the Chamber of Commerce, she has been one of our biggest advocates, and her whole spiel is together we can build a better Bonham. And I'm hoping that's what they can do up there. They're going to have an explosion like all the other cities have in the northern part of the Metroplex, and hopefully they are going to be able to do that in a good way. Try to maintain their history and grow at the same time, bring in industries and do what they need to do.
Now, we're going to be bringing quite a few jobs to Bonham as well through our manufacturing capacity and growth, and also a lot of folks from here relocating up into Bonham to be closer to our future home. How do you think that looks over the next, 6 months in terms of the number of Vector employees moving up towards Fannin County?
Well, we currently have about 20 people working up there now. We've got roughly 65, 70 down here in McKinney. We have branched off and gotten a smaller office. We are going to maintain a presence here in McKinney. We've got an office space that holds 15, 17, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's not practical for us to ask customers and inspectors and things that come in to visit us to necessarily drive an hour and a half from DFW Airport up to Bonham. So this is more of a staging area. It also allows us to retain some of the employees that we have that may not have wanted to move to Bonham, and gives us a jumping point. The customer can come in, meet in the office. If they want to go see the manufacturing facilities,
just up the road.
It's just up the road, 45 minutes. The other exciting thing that's happening here in Collin County is the city is looking at putting in commercial flights into their airport, KTKI, and that's a great option for helping us get in and out. Instead of driving all the way down to Love Field or DFW Airport, we can come into McKinney and possibly hop a flight where we need to go, and our customers can do the same coming in.
So speaking of airports, we're looking at our existing facility, say borders the west of Bonham's airport, Jones Field up there.
Correct.
We're looking at other locations around that area. But also, you're very passionate about aviation. I figured I'd use this as a good opportunity to ask you about that.
Well, I'm third generation in my family who has not flown. I'm the only one in 3 generations that hasn't flown an airplane. And I started to back in the 90s, and I got busy traveling around the world doing commissioning and so forth, and never really got back to it. Well, in October, I started taking flying lessons, and I've kept that kind of on the radar until the Chamber of Commerce in Bonham got a hold of it. Now it's all over the internet. But yeah, I just soloed last week.
Cool.
I'm flying in the plane by myself. My long-term plan is to have a place up near the airport where I can keep the plane and probably sleep during the week. Have a small apartment in it.
Yeah.
We'll see how that pans out. But our customers are based in this area. If I need to go to Tulsa, if I need to go to Abilene, Houston, I mean, they're all 4 to 6 hours away from this part of the country. That's the sweet spot for flying an airplane. I can be in Abilene in an hour and 20 minutes versus sitting in the car for 4.5 hours.
Especially if you utilize the airport right next to the plant.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
Door-to-door service.
There is a method to my madness. Yeah, a little strategy going on there.
Well, good. So when do you anticipate becoming a full-blown pilot then?
And that's the hard part. I have 2 more major hurdles to get over. I have to take a oral exam. Okay. Someone sits down and just bombards me with questions, technical, so forth. And it's everything from weather to procedures to FAA regulations. It's pretty complicated. And then I have to do a check ride with an examiner who takes me up and makes sure I'm proficient within the tolerances that are in the regulations. So those are my next 2 hurdles. I hope to be finished late summer. I think I can get enough of that crammed into my brain to make that happen.
Okay, so 26 is when you'll be bouncing airfield to airfield then.
I hope to be, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I can do it by myself right now, but I can't take passengers.
I got you.
That's the way the rules are set up. So.
Well, do you think Vector Systems is going to be manufacturing aircraft parts?
No.
There are a lot of people that work at Vector Systems that have a tremendous amount of selective catalytic reduction experience. What has kept Vector Systems historically out of that market as a SCR supplier?
Oh, that's an interesting question. It's not our, yes, we have a lot of experience with it. It's opened a lot of doors for us over the years, but you have to realize that the majority of our customers in that particular market, they manufacture SCR systems.
Sure.
I don't want to put myself in a place to compete with them and lose half of my business. I'm not interested in doing that. It's also not our forte. Brian Ovens founded this company as a control panel company. He built it doing nothing but control systems for fluid process equipment. If it doesn't have an instrument on it, what value are we adding
Sure.
to it? Ductwork, our customers are already building that. They can buy the catalyst direct, have it sized, carry the guarantees. I'm not interested in getting into the SCR business, at least formally. I mean,
Now, Vector Systems has supplied SCR systems in the past.
we have, yes. We had one customer that approached us, and we built 18 identical units for them to go on their rental fleet. They've got trailer and rail car mounted boilers that they lease out, and they were beginning to run up against needing to have emission control on them because the regulations got tighter and tighter. And we built them an entire fleet of SCR catalyst packages to go on those. That was more of an instrumentation application because we needed to make it fit different size boilers. We needed to be able to go anywhere in the country, be able to handle 180 mile an hour hurricane winds down in Florida or seismic zone 4 out in California. So that was a very interesting project. That customer has brought us a lot of repair work over the years because, I mean, just like a rental car, nobody takes care of it. It comes back on the back end, and we get some revenue off of remanufacturing those and putting them back in the field.
I know rentals have been a big focus for the last couple of years at Vector Systems, particularly around rental tank packages, but also, like you said, supporting rental fleets of boilers. Tell me a little bit more about what the goal is with our rental fleets going forward.
Well, the rental fleet actually came around from the same customer. They historically don't want to deal with pressure vessels, any fluid storage equipment, and they had a need for it, or their customer had a need. And you know how I like to serve the end user. The guy's got to live with it. So we sat down and worked out a deal where we had a tank in house. We had an extra pump skid. We put a package together and started leasing it out. And we've done that half a dozen times now. We have 2 complete systems that we can send out to the field and support these mobile boilers with the SCR systems on it. I'm always looking for other opportunities. I mean, there are tanks that are not ammonia related that we could put in inventory and start renting out, and again, better serve the end user. Have them something on site to do what they need done.
Well, and I think from an end user focus perspective, getting back to SCR, but also on the tank side, the expertise that we have in-house allows us to offer retrofit solutions if they're repowering, if they're replacing, if they're improving, if they need or have struggled with NOx or ammonia slip concerns over the years. It allows us to better augment their fluid control process while retaining that expertise to solve the end goal, which is their emissions.
Oh, absolutely. It all fits nicely into the idea of supporting the end user.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we want the end user to ask for Vector Systems by name and end up on approved supplier list, approved manufacturers list.
Absolutely.
So I think
it's been our strategy for close to 20 years now.
So getting in close with the end users, I know our marketing's been out going to turbine users groups and trade shows to interact with end users.
Don't forget the Boiler Expo.
Well, I was about to segue there, so good call. Dustin and I are going to be headed to the summer meeting at the American Boiler Manufacturers Association. That's taking place starting tomorrow at Key Largo, Florida.
Correct.
So we look forward to seeing some of the boiler OEMs and maybe even discussing some end user needs while we're there.
But then the big expo is going to be in Nashville at the Opryland Hotel. in April, end of March into April. It's going to be a big deal. We actually found out the other day that the Biomass organization, who we've exhibited at their shows a number of times, they are going to be right next door to us in the Opryland Hotel.
Oh, is that right?
So we're going to cross-pollinate. We're going to have their people come into our expo. We're going to send people over to theirs. It's going to be a big deal.
I spoke at that Biomass conference last year.
I remember that. I remember that.
I don't know, on Boiler Expo, it's in Nashville. Is there a country music theme to it?
Well, of course it is.
Okay.
It's turn up your boiler.
Turn up your boiler?
Yeah, I think that's the theme we've got. It's going to be exciting. We've got Rusty Wallace, former NASCAR race car driver, is going to be the keynote speaker coming in. We've got one of the members of the organization is bringing in their Ferrari race car to put on display.
Oh, I like that.
Of course,
for sure.
it's sponsored by their company, and no, it's going to be good. There's talks now like we might have Opryland passes as part of
is that right?
As an option. So, yeah, it's going to be a big deal. You guys should all come out.
Right now, from a growth perspective, Vector Systems has been very successful over the last couple of years. A lot of that has been taking our fluid process expertise and applying it to the business and revamping our business processes. I was going to have you describe a little bit of what we're looking to do over the next 6 months in terms of our business process and how that's affecting things.
Well, we've really solidified the business process over the last 4 years. We have implemented all sorts of new programs. The exciting part that Vaughn is talking about now is we're finally integrating all of our database systems together, making data available at your fingertips at any given moment, anywhere in the company, setting up tolerances that alert us immediately if there's an issue, if we have something slipping in schedule, if something's going over budget, if we're running over hours or under hours in the shop. Much improved scheduling capabilities. We're going to have that up and running by the end of this year. It's taking the basis of what we've been building the last 4 years and automating it, essentially, is what it is. And that's what we do. We're a controls company, so we're taking the modularized pieces and we're getting them talking together in a network. The next step is going to be implementing artificial intelligence over the top of that and start analyzing performance throughout the company and determining, okay, let it tell us who should we have doing that task? Who's better suited to do this? How can we improve the production of this project without impacting the others? There's a whole new frontier out there with this AI technology, and it's helping us on the back end too, because those AI data centers that everybody's hyping up in the news, they all need power, they all need water. So we're selling them the equipment they need to make clean energy out there to run these enormous data centers that are going to be handling all the mundane tasks for us.
Yeah, I think
exciting.
It becomes the backbone of what future technology looks like, and it starts with needing power to run that, as you know.
It does.
And that needs to be cooled down, so we're offering packages there. But a lot of that growth that we've seen over the last few years has been diversification into new things, as well as supporting the end user's needs with aging equipment, product life cycle, re-up, or uprating the turbines or the boilers or what have you. I know the folks at the Combined Cycle Journal are calling this a retrofit revolution currently in the market. We're seeing that with a bit of availability concerns with engines long term, and the backlog of folks wanting to generate power. And so now it's a matter of taking what we're good at and applying it to new problems that end users have experienced in order to keep up with these new demands.
Absolutely. We've always been agnostic to what fluid we have running through our systems. We've done a lot of packages that handled not just ammonia, but we've done, of course, natural gas, hydrogen, oxygen, very, very specialized applications for oxygen. Cooling water. We've looked at hydrogen reformer for satellite production of electricity.
Yeah, we're looking at
Any fluid, any process.
everything from hydrogen peroxide tanks to acid pumping systems we've looked at recently.
We have.
I know there's some product development efforts going on in-house to support the midstream compressor station and the fuel gas conditioning equipment that's needed for this rapid expansion in power. So we're excited to be bringing that to the market later this year. Well, thanks, Dustin. I really appreciate your input. I think it's good to get Vector's message out to the world. As always, tune into the next Process Systems podcast. We hope to be doing segments like this every month, not just with Vector folks, but with outside guests. So if you'd like to be on the Process System podcast, please shoot me a note. I'd like to have you out and get some other insight from within the industry that we can put on as content. So look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Thank you, sir.
It's been great. Appreciate it.